Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, The Motivational Institute, where passion and purpose will always find you. Please subscribe if you haven't. I started off with an awkward smile because all of my videos look like this or something weird. But anyways, so here we are ready to discuss the next agreement. This book is called The Four Agreements by Miguel Ruiz. We are on the third agreement. So the third agreement is, drum roll, don't make assumptions. Okay. So do you ever assume something to be true and it's not? Do you have tendencies to make assumptions about everything? Or many things? If you do, that's okay. You are not alone. All right, you see I'm repping here. Oh, before I start, I got to represent all of my fellow Yankees. Yep. 3A City Championship. Boom, boom. That's what we do. Anyways, let's get right into this. So, we have a tendency to make assumptions about everything. The problem with making assumptions is that we believe that what we're assuming is actually true when it's not. So Don Miguel talks about how we create emotional poison by making these assumptions. And then when we make the assumptions, we also take it personal. So our last agreement was don't take things personal. Typically, these two things go hand in hand. Also, we only see what we want to see and hear what we want to hear. We don't perceive things the way that they actually are. Very true. Making assumptions in our relationships is really asking for problems. So if you do this with a friend, a family member, a spouse, or whoever it is, you've probably seen that it's created more problems. And in any kind of relationship, we can make the assumption that we know what someone else is thinking, and we don't have to say what we want, which is definitely not true. And if others tell us something, we make the assumption that if they don't tell us something, if others tell us something, we make assumptions. If they don't tell us something, we make the assumption. All right? And because we need to basically fulfill our need to know either way. So if there is an absence of, it's almost like we create that in our mind. We fill in those voids when it comes to communication. We make all sorts of assumptions because we don't have the courage to ask questions. That's a big one. Okay. So what questions do you need to ask to someone? And how do you need to clarify? Because a lot of times people can say or do something and they may have good intentions, but you assume that what they did was negative or what they did, was intentionally meant to hurt you or make you feel some type of way, and it really wasn't. So that's a big one. We make these assumptions because we don't have the courage to ask the question. So I'm just thinking real quick about a situation that I was in and something happened that it bothered me. And normally I would respond to it, but I didn't. And I just sat there, I took a deep breath, and I didn't say anything. I kid you not, like not even a minute later, the person did something that flat out told me that my assumption was totally wrong. And I just sat there and laughed and giggled for a second because I'm like, girl, I'm glad you didn't say anything because you will look crazy. So take a moment. Next time something happens and you make an assumption about what you felt the intention was or what it actually meant, because it might not mean that. That's basically what he's saying. Well, that's a good one. All right. And then the last couple of notes about assumptions here is, with clear communication, all of your relationships will change, not only with your partner, but with everyone else. Because when we don't make assumptions, everything becomes clear. Everything. If all humans could communicate in this way, and we talked about also being impeccable with our world, there would be absolutely no misunderstandings. So in this third agreement, even Don Miguel says that it's not easy. Right here, it's difficult to do. We all have these habits, but becoming aware of the habit is part of the process, and making that change is where you'll get your power. So I challenge you today to move forward with the third agreement, which is actually one of my favorites, and I will attest to the fact that it has helped me avoid negative situations because it wasn't a reality. I created a reality based on what I thought and felt. So be blessed today and do your best to not make assumptions. I'll see you on the next video.